Well, it's great to see all of Jenna MacArthur's favourite places in and around Cape Town. Now, one of the most exciting things about contemporary Africa is the tremendous growth in design. In fashion in particular, local indigenous cultures are being showcased in modern way, and garments are a tool for expressing the beauty of Africa and its stories to the world. This was evident at SA Fashion Week, where local designers each brought fresh and exciting design elements to the runway.
African stories were in the spotlight at SA Fashion Week, where designers like Kenyan-born Liz Ogumbo Regisford boldly represented her heritage in modern yet elegant pieces in a new collection.
So this collection is called the Safari Collection, and I say it's actually not just a collection, it's an experience. I thought that this would be a nice collection that could speak to a lot of different girls who are on safari. Safari in Swahili translates to being on a journey. Born and raised in Kenya for many years, I wanted to share my heritage, I wanted to go back a bit. Basic techniques like tie-dye. I also use the beaded applique sort of technique, which is also, to me, a very African sort of way of blinging up your garment and saying, you know what, I want to actually shine like a star.
Founded in 2000, Sun Goddess is quintessentially South African, incorporating various traditional elements in a luxury lifestyle experience.
The big influences and inspiration for this season was global traditions and global lifestyles. If you think of our clients, the way they live, the way we live, take it to a point where when we design, we've got someone in mind, so it's a more direct and a more personal sort of influence that we're having. You would never find us with just a plain black dress. If you think of Africa and its textures, the different cultures, and that's what we're trying to express basically, a South African lifestyle, which is basically targeted at a global audience.
Tsepo Mafukwane, the designer behind Sober, put forth a collection that had a strong aesthetic and strong ties to her heritage.
I wanted to make clothes that danced, that moved, that had a lot of motion to them, very nice and airy. I got excited by the idea. That's how the collection came about.
The silhouettes for these distinctly African designs are neat, feminine and soft around the body, showing the grace of African women.
The key silhouettes for this year, there were a lot of pencil skirts and leather. We also loved to flow, so there was like a lot of chiffon, a lot of flowing. So you mix the long with the short, and basically a global and a complete lifestyle, basically, from the boardroom to the beach.
Silhouettes are classic to the sober lady. We're always going for your feminine, very sexy. We glorify that at Sober. Make a woman feel great and give her some kind of extra self-esteem.
And just as our country is filled with incredible colors, patterns and textures in nature, these are also reflected on the runway.
Half the collection was black and white, but in the end you saw the chiffons coming through with the lovely, bright colors, the vibrancy, because it is South Africa at the end of the day. We've got beautiful weather and we are known for our landscape, so nature is my biggest muse, and I just copy what nature does. Detail is very important for us. It's what differentiates us in South Africa as opposed to the rest of Africa, in that our clothes have a lot of stitch. A lot of time gets spent, if you think of the beading, the handwork, the layering, the texturing.
I'm a colorful soul. I live in a colorful continent. So everything from the prints to the textures to the bling is really who I am and what my soul wants to scream out. And I feel like Africa has always been on the spotlight. Everyone's looking at us. And if we don't bring in those little special touches to our pieces, we kind of have lost or left the train behind.
It's time for Africa to shine. And what better way to celebrate our country and culture than by literally wearing it on our sleeves?